Monster Attack Chapter 1 The calm before the storm. In the small coastal town of Crestwood, life was simple and predictable. The people of Crestwood spent their days fishing, surfing, and enjoying the warm sunshine. Among them was a young marine biologist named Sarah Thompson. Sarah had always been fascinated by the mysteries of the ocean, dedicating her life to studying its depths. Little did she know that her love for the sea would soon lead her to face the unimaginable. One warm summer evening, Sarah had just finished her research at the local Marine Institute when she noticed something strange in the water. The tide had receded unusually, exposing the rocky shore and revealing a series of deep grooves etched into the sand. She knelt down to inspect them, feeling an inexplicable sense of dread wash over her. "What could have made these?" she murmured to herself, glancing at the horizon. The sun dipped low, casting an eerie glow over the ocean, as if it were hiding a dark secret. Chapter 2 The first attack. The next day, the town was buzzing with excitement for the annual Crestwood Summer Festival. Families set up booths, children played games, and the air was filled with laughter and the smell of delicious food. Sarah, however, couldn't shake off the unease she felt from the previous day. She decided to share her concerns with her friend Mark, a local fisherman. "Mark, I found something strange on the shore yesterday," she said, her brow furrowed in worry. There were these deep grooves in the sand, and it felt wrong. Mark chuckled, dismissing her worries. "Probably just a big fish or something. Don't let it get to you, Sarah. Enjoy the festival." But as night fell and the festival reached its peak, a loud roar echoed from the ocean, sending chills down everyone's spine. The laughter ceased, and a thick silence enveloped the crowd. Suddenly, a monstrous figure emerged from the waves, scales glistening under the moonlight, eyes glowing like fire. It was a creature unlike anything anyone had ever seen, a massive sea monster that towered over the beach. Panic erupted as people screamed and ran for safety. Chapter 3 The chaos unleashed. The creature, a leviathan of nightmares, charged onto the beach, wreaking havoc. It swiped at tents, sending them flying, and roared again, creating waves that crashed violently against the shore. Sarah stood frozen in shock, her heart pounding. "Mark, we need to get out of here," she shouted, grabbing his arm. They fled. Sarah glanced back and saw the monster devouring the festival's food stalls, its massive jaws snapping at anything in its path. The town's sheriff, armed with a shotgun, tried to confront the beast, but his efforts were futile. The monster swatted him aside like a fly, and chaos reigned as people scrambled to escape. Chapter 4 The aftermath. The next morning, the town was a wreck. Debris littered the beach, and the once vibrant festival grounds lay in ruins. News of the monster attack spread quickly, drawing attention from media outlets and government officials. As the townspeople gathered in the town hall, fear and confusion hung heavy in the air. Sarah stood with Mark, listening to the sheriff's briefing. "We don't know what that creature is or where it came from, but we need to evacuate the town for safety," he said, his voice shaky. "We're calling in the National Guard to help us." "Evacuate?" Sarah exclaimed. "We can't just leave. It's our home." Mark nodded in agreement. We need to find out what that thing is and how to stop it. We can't let fear drive us away. Chapter 5, The research determined to help, Sarah returned to the Marine Institute to gather data. She pored over research papers and old maps, trying to find any mention of sea monsters or unusual oceanic activity. As she dug deeper, she stumbled upon ancient legends of a creature known as the Kraken, said to guard underwater treasures and wreak havoc when disturbed. Could it be related? She wondered aloud. Mark joined her, holding a coffee cup. This Kraken legend, it sounds like a fairy tale. But there's something about those grooves you found. What if it's a nesting ground or something? Sarah's mind raced. If we can find out where it came from, maybe we can figure out a way to stop it. Chapter 6, Into the Depths. With a plan in mind, Sarah and Mark assembled a team of brave townsfolk willing to venture out to sea. They rented a small boat and equipped it with sonar equipment to track the monster's movements. As they set off into the open water, tension filled the air. Hours passed with nothing but the sound of waves lapping against the hull. Just as doubt began to creep in, the sonar picked up a massive heat signature beneath them. There. Sarah pointed. It's below us. The team prepared their gear, but before they could do anything, the water erupted as the creature surfaced, its enormous form blocking out the sun. The team scrambled to hold on as the boat rocked violently. Get ready! Sarah shouted, grabbing a harpoon gun loaded with a tranquilizer dart. We need to subdue it. Chapter 7, The Confrontation. As the creature thrashed around them, Sarah aimed carefully. On 3. 1, 2, 3. She fired the dart, and it struck the creature's shoulder. For a moment, it seemed to calm, but then it let out a deafening roar, thrashing even harder. Hold on! Mark yelled, wrestling with the steering wheel to keep the boat steady. The creature dove back into the depths, dragging the boat along with it. Sarah and the team had to think quickly. We need to follow it, she said, adrenaline pumping through her veins. They activated the sonar again, tracking the monster's movements, plunging deeper into the ocean. The water grew darker, the pressure mounting around them. Chapter 8, The Heart of the Sea. After what felt like an eternity, they finally located the creature's lair, a massive underwater cave illuminated by bioluminescent algae. Inside, they found remnants of shipwrecks and strange artifacts, suggesting that the creature had been guarding its territory for centuries. Look at this! Sarah exclaimed, pointing to a mural on the cave wall depicting the Kraken surrounded by ships and sailors. It's a guardian of the sea. Suddenly, the creature reappeared, its eyes locking onto Sarah. Instead of aggression, it seemed to be curious. Sarah felt a strange connection, as if the creature was trying to communicate. It's not just a monster, she realized. It's a protector. Chapter 9, Understanding the Beast. In that moment of understanding, Sarah reached out her hand, speaking softly. We don't want to harm you. We just want to help. The creature hesitated, its massive form slowly lowering. Sarah could see the pain in its eyes, the scars of past battles and misunderstandings. Mark watched in awe. You think it's trying to tell us something? Suddenly, the creature let out a low, rumbling sound, and the cave shook. In a flash, it darted deeper into the cave, drawing Sarah and the team along. They followed, their hearts racing, until they reached a hidden chamber filled with treasures, gold coins, jewels, and artifacts from shipwrecks. The stories were true. Sarah gasped, realizing that the creature had been misunderstood all along. It wasn't a monster, it was a guardian of the ocean's treasures. Chapter 10, A New Beginning. With a newfound understanding, Sarah and the team devised a plan. They would help the creature reclaim its territory from the disturbances caused by human activities. They returned to Crestwood, armed with knowledge and a desire to protect the ocean. The townspeople listened as Sarah shared her findings. We need to respect the ocean and its guardians. The Kraken is not our enemy, it's a part of our world that we need to protect. With the support of the community, they launched initiatives to clean the beaches, protect marine life, and educate future generations about the importance of the ocean. As for the Kraken, it became a symbol of hope and protection, no longer viewed as a monster but as a vital part of Crestwood's identity. In the years that followed, Sarah often returned to the sea, knowing that the guardian of the depths watched over them. And whenever the waves crashed against the shore, she felt a sense of peace, knowing that they had forged a new bond with the mysteries of the ocean. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their understanding and respect for the wild, untamed beauty of nature.